Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be talking about this Notoriously Morbid fall palette, which I'm super excited to finally have just arrive in the mail. We are going to be now past spooky season of Halloween, but you know what? I think we're still going to keep the coloring and inspired going on, but I also do really feel like this palette will be great for Christmas and just other times of year. So if you are curious to see my thoughts, swatches, all that fun stuff, go ahead and stay tuned. And let's get started with the video. I'm just starting with a little bit of the Milani primer all over my eyes. I'm going to start off with the shade Comfort with like a small brush. Just packing that all over the eyelid. And then just taking the same brush, I'm just going to start softening out the edges and creating a bit of the shape that I want. So just because I am me, I'm going to go ahead and just take a fluffy brush. The edges look pretty clean, but I just want to make sure that we are all nicely diffused just in case. For the lid shade, I'm trying to think. I think I'm gonna do this one. It's Sam Hain, I believe. I'm just gonna use a little bit of the NYX Glitter Primer. Using a flat shader brush to apply that. Focusing mainly on the center of the lid. Wiping off my brush, picking up a shade. That's so pretty. I think that looks nice. Yeah, let me go ahead, do some liner. So I'm gonna go in with the Milani Stay Put liner. I'm going to take that along the upper rim and lower rim. I'm just going to go ahead and wipe away the little bit of fallout with some of my cellar water. This one isn't too bad, but definitely be wary. These shades can be a bit powdery. I tend to, like a lot of people with most of my eyeshadow looks and stuff, always kind of just do this half of my face first, and then I do the bottom half. But, you know, you do you. I do already have a little bit, though, of that Milani primer under my eyes, so I'm not really going to add anything else, like foundation or whatever, currently. I'm going to go back in with Comfort. Very pigmented, so I'm just going to go ahead and run that along the bottom lash line. I'm going to try to really work it into the lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and just connect a little bit up. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and re-intensify the upper crease a bit more with that Comfort shade, the same brush that I started with. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit of this Milani Stay Put Infinite liner just along the lash line. I do really like this liner, except it is that kind of, because this is waterproof, if you've ever worn a waterproof liquid eyeliner, most of the time you are going to feel it. It's difficult to say, but it creates a layer, which I think is really what makes it waterproof. Let's move on to the other side. So for the other side, I do want to do the Cinta Green shade, which is called Appreciate. I'm just going to take this brush. It's a bit bigger, but I do not have another clean one of my smaller brushes, and this shade is quite a bit, if I'd say lighter. Well, it's lighter than the other deeper shades, and I kind of like that. I want to keep it bright. This one is definitely, it could be this brush, because this brush is pretty spiky, so like a lot of the product is just flying all over. Just FYI, I don't personally have an issue with shadows that are too powdery. I think it just, you know, your palette's just gonna be a bit more, you know, messy, but that's okay. I'm just gonna start buffing that in with the same brush into the crease, kind of like I did on the other side. I really love this grain. I have been really getting into vintage. Like I've been watching Laura Jane Atelier on YouTube recently. Whoops. So it's really just been getting me like on this vintage eyeshadow kick kind of, and I feel like this just looks like such a beautiful vintage kind of green shade. Now granted, we are going to modernize it by using one of the glitters because I just can't help myself. I find this so pretty. It's just a really nice, all over simple green shade. So going back in with a little more of the NYX primer. And then this truly beautiful shade, like the star of the palette in my head. It's so beautiful. Round. Hello. You can just see. Now this is definitely really glitter heavy. So be careful. I feel like the glitter glue is really helping it. But I did wear this product yesterday and I just put some like in my inner like corner area and it's just a little, I'll say messy. I feel like that sounds bad, but it kind of just got everywhere. So, I mean, which sometimes I love that, other times not so much. I mean, just see, look how that's applying. I know that this is like a fall palette, but as we are getting into like Christmas season, tell me this is not. I mean, it's a beautiful fall look, but this is also appropriate for like Christmas. Like, it's green, it's beautiful. I'm in love. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing I did on the top and just re-emphasize the green a bit more. Okay, so I think for this side, I'm gonna go ahead and do a white liner. I'm just gonna go in with the NYX Jumbo Pencil and Milk. If anybody knows of a good white pencil that like actually lasts, let me know. Cause I love this Milani one that Erin Parsons talked about, but there is not, they don't have like a white one that's like from that same line. So hopefully they come out with one day. That'd be nice. Or another brand has a good white eyeliner. I really want to try like Urban Decay. I know those are, considered really well. It's just, it's such like a hefty investment of, they're like $20 or something. That I'm just worried that like, if I get it and it's not good, I'm just going to be like, I wasted my money. But whatever. So yeah, definitely let me know down below in the comments if you have a good white like eye pencil that lasts well in the waterline. Probably more, I guess, on like the waterproof front. So I'm going back in with that shade, that green, with that pencil brush. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's take a little bit more of that Stay Put liquid liner. Totally random. So for the longest time, I was really loving to go with outliner sometimes on my upper eye, unless I did like a super wing. But I've recently noticed that even if I just do a fine line, I really love the definition it gives to the eye. Just being really precise and trying to just stay within like the lash line. I feel like it just, I don't know, it just adds a little something. So I would definitely say if you feel like your eyes are not popping as much as you want them to, maybe try this trick. Let me go ahead and curl my lashes real quick. I've been using lately the Supernatural mascara from Melt. I don't believe this says that it's waterproof. It's just ultra black, but I definitely really like this one for transfer resistance. Do I feel like it's fully worth the price? To be honest, I mean, it's beautiful. The lashes look good. They look nice. Do I feel like it's anything that I would go out and spend? 'Cause I think it's like $28. $28 on, to be honest, probably not. The wand shape, like I've been like learning recently. Like I was watching, I think it's the Lipstick Lesbians is what they're called. They're like a TikTok thing or whatever. I see them on YouTube and where it's like something about where it's thicker is where more product deposits or whatever. So you can tell that this brush, I guess, is trying to be more of like an outer corner situation for the length, even though like obviously unless you flip the wand around, it's not really gonna do that. And at least for me, how I do mascara, I do not do that. But it's fine. I mean, it's nice. The component is very weighty. So yes, if you want like a luxurious filling mascara, very nice. And like I said, for a non-waterproof formula, as far as I know, because it does not say waterproof, this is very transfer resistant, at least in my experience. And I definitely have had a bad experience with a lot of mascaras transferring throughout the day. But if you are on a budgety, trying to be on a budget like me as well, hello. Even though I detest the name, absolutely detest the name, but the Big Papa from Wet n Wild, I discovered this through Lisa Eldridge, has also one of those like interesting brush shapes but it is also transfer resistant. So I do believe that this is like, you could probably get like 4 tubes for the price of this. So do keep that in mind. If you want luxurious, get this. Definitely beautiful. I think I probably said before, from the Beetlejuice collection. If you don't, then get the Big Papa from Wet n Wild. Super good mascara, very black, at least to me. Okay, I think that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and the rest of my base real quick. I'll be right back. So finishing up the face, just run through all the products if you are curious. All over foundation is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. Love that one, especially for like a really full coverage if you like that kind of thing. I've been trying to get a lot more use out of this Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm face palette, so that is mainly what I use. I used the bronzer, the blush, and this highlighter. So I did go a bit heavier with the blush on this side, but I think it looks super, super pretty. This is expensive because I did get it in a mystery box a couple of years ago through Beautylish, like their Beautylish thing. So if you're here from that video forever ago, hi. Yeah, no, I actually really like the formula of that. Very easy, just a more expensive product, but whatever. On the lips, I went ahead and just thought it'd be fun and did like a split lip. So I do have from Black Moon Cosmetics Grim, and then actually keeping with the brand Notoriously Morbid. This came in that mystery bag. I believe it was the larger one. So if you did see that video, that is where this is from. If not, check it out. It is live on my channel. I think it was from last Thursday. But this is, yeah, the Bird of Death. It's like a metallic green. I just realized I didn't get like metallic. I don't know if it's like fully metallic, but it's a really pretty green shade. I really do love it. Let's go ahead and delve into the details of this palette. Just to note real quick, I am swatching all of the shimmers with both the NYX Glitter Primer and just on their own, so you can see what they look like, especially because the brand does recommend using a glitter primer or some sort of base for all of their shimmer shades. Delving into the Season of the Witch Fall palette, so shade number 1 is Champagne, a red burnt copper with blue sparkles. Next up is Ground, a brilliant gold that shifts green and blue. Beauty is a satin jeweled mint that slightly shifts blue to purple. Maybon is a taupe shimmer base multichrome that shifts from silver to green to rose. Harmony is a vibrant great purple with shifting multichrome sparkles that move through aqua blue to pink. Warmth, a shifting satin multichrome that starts out muted raspberry to red to copper orange. Comfort is a dark mocha matte. Appreciate is a Persian green matte. And lastly, Justice is a dark desert taupe matte. I'm starting out, I guess, just kind of giving you my thoughts or just the gist of this palette. So this is their fall palette, Season of the Witch pressed palette. This does retail for $34.99. This is what the cover looks like. So beautiful, literally so beautiful. This is what the back of the palette looks like. Key things as well is they are very big on telling you if all of these shades are lip safe. I'm assuming all the shades are eye safe. This is not called a eyeshadow palette as far as I see. Don't quote me. I do wish that it said. I don't know. I mean, definitely be wary, especially because this is called a pressed palette. It's not called a pressed pigment palette, but just in case. And again, like I said, none of the shades are saying not eye safe. So, you know, whatever. Take that with what you will. This is what the palette itself looks like. It is so pretty. And to be honest with you, as I've been getting to know, I feel like Notoriously Morbid, at least a little bit, is there. I can't say for all palettes, but at least for the two that I currently have from them, you can tell that, I don't know if it's, they're trying to do like a simple, streamlined, and what I mean by that is, so for me, I did do a look, which I might insert it in here, if not, it probably will be on my Instagram, but I'll try to insert it in, of, I used the darker brown, and then I used like this grayish taupe shade, and I don't feel like they're all deep. they're all along the lines of like deeper shades. So I don't necessarily feel like I'm going to be using the mattes together unless it would be like in different places, like maybe one in the crease, one on the bottom lash line kind of thing, like the different colors. But what I really feel like this palette is definitely good for is kind of ease, if that makes sense. So, kind of like as I did on my looks, I basically just picked a shade, and I will be, don't quote me, but I'm really trying to delve into doing like shorts or TikTok, all that stuff, maybe some reels, on Instagram as well. So, I do want to do a third look with this like taupey shade with one of these other shimmer shades. It will be different than the ones like I currently have on my eyes. But I think that would just be fun for you to see like all three of the matte shades. So definitely stay tuned for that. For that idea, at least what in my opinion, what I feel like I view when I see this palette is basically pick your matte shade and then pick your shimmer shade to top all over the lid or whatever. There's not really any like inner corner highlight shades, at least for me. I mean, you can definitely use like this shade here, which is called Beauty. You could probably use this shade Ground a little bit as like an inner corner highlight if you want to try something different. But I really do like this palette. I think it is really pretty, and especially for myself, I'm really trying to push myself to be more creative. I think I really tend to stick with the tried and true, and having a palette that's like, okay, here's your dark green, light green, mid-tone green. Sorry, I should have said that. And then like the shimmer shade that you would use with it. And I feel like my brain's just like, well, this makes sense. This is easy. But I really appreciate having something like this and really challenge myself, because I would definitely say you could really mix up the shimmers together. So even I would definitely say, picking kind of like your base, maybe this like dark brown shade of Comfort, and then kind of just mixing and matching some of the shimmers on your lid. I think that would really be pretty. Maybe I'll do that for my other look that I do. But even you can see from these two looks, I was able to create two very different but cool looks from this palette. And of course, there are other things that you definitely could do with this palette. But yeah, I really do think it is super pretty. I will be busting this sucker out, especially probably for maybe like a more Christmas time kind of look, playing with the green and some of the red kind of shades. I think that is all that I can think of that I did want to say for this video. Definitely let me know down below in the comments what you do think of this palette. Are you going to be picking it up? I really hope that I'm giving you somewhat of a fresh take on this palette. Also, like always, the formula for this palette is really good. No dud shades. This, I believe, is hand pressed. I always forget to say that as well, which I do actually think is really cool. Something now that I'm really delving into more indie shadows that are like done in home or like done at facility. I feel like I'm really liking a bit more, I feel like it's kind of, you almost have like this, like, oh, this is, not everybody's gonna have this. And I don't know, I just think that's super cool and very special. So I definitely will be buying more from Notoriously Morbid and other brands like that. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day or whatever you are doing, and I will see you on my next one. Okay, bye.